There was maybe one other topic if you wanted to throw a short in here. I had a kind of an idea for a short. Not
The Pornhub video bands?
super anally prepared.
We're doing that one?
We could do that one too.
Well, you just said something about anal, so I figured if I can... I figured it was just synchronicity fucking matching up.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Sure, we can riff on that for a second.
So I've only heard
I don't know
about
how
it.
aware you are of like what's happening and why it's happening.
I'm barely aware that I'm barely aware that anything's happening
I'm not
at any
even
one
aware
point
of
in time. No. Yeah. I heard about it, and I heard about some suspected reasons, but literally that's it.
Okay, so there was an article, and I believe it was the New York Times. I believe he's written about this before. It kind of just went viral, talking about how there's some really dark content on there, usually like child stuff and like exploitative stuff, because it's basically set up kind of like YouTube. Like anybody can just upload their stuff and everything. They don't have to be verified creators or professional or anything.
I might go into that whole Section 230 freaking thing of like, well, we're not trying to like, edit anybody's comments or uploads or anything because that would make us a publisher, which means we'd be liable.
Then we'd have to, exactly.
We don't want that.
Yeah, so
trying to make money here. Come on.
Yeah, so that gained a lot of traction, even though it's been going on for a long time. But then what came of that, the next step out of that was that Visa and MasterCard cut off payments.
Because they also don't want to be potentially liable or wrapped up in any kind of bad PR.
That made the whole thing come to a screeching halt. So Pornhub went scorched earth on all their shit. I wouldn't be surprised if it was over like 80% of the stuff that's
I think
on there.
I saw that thing too. Yeah.
And
now that doesn't mean that 80% was all like not.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But
they did like a tactical nuke, and there's a lot of
collateral damage.
There you go. That's the term.
Of course, it's good to not have this terrible stuff that shouldn't be on there in the first place. Yeah,
because there's a lot of questions regarding, like you said, like like the age of the person. How about the consent of if the person consented or not or whatever, like or consented to have it even posted. You know what I mean? Like, so there's all kinds of.
And some of it's not even really sexual in nature, I guess you could even say.
What do you mean?
Like violent stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Like just humiliating,
allegedly,
violent
I have no idea. But
yeah. Oh, I imagine too. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah,
it's in the article. So
they cited for me, so it's okay. I don't actually.
Yeah, secondary source. Second-hand source. Wait a minute. Bad choice of words.
Second-hand Dutch. Keep going. Move on. Sorry.
But there's been good and bad things with that because a lot of people who are just like amateur sex workers, just like couples uploading their stuff or whatever.
Totally.
Their stuff just got taken down. But there's then you can say
and presumably they're upset about that because like they would monetize it or whatever.
Yeah, it cuts off their revenue stream.
Right. Okay. I
just imagine if YouTube like went through and just cleared out everything kind of that was not
friendly in their whatever their policy.
That wasn't on YouTube Kids or whatever.
Yes, totally.
So
wasn't there something about that with like Frozen Stars and
there is a thing about that. We can talk about that too.
We can talk about
and
that
that's kind of the same problem. Is it's a moderation issue, and it's very difficult because of the sheer volume of stuff that gets uploaded. And when you have an open model like that, it's pretty
mind-boggling to be able to even think about trying to filter or control like what's coming in, just because like the amount of hours of media that's
years
uploaded
of content in
every
like a month time
or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
some people try to throw like algorithms at that, where it's just like automatically flags stuff and like that, and that can be good and bad because it can unfairly target things that need to be taken off. And then there's like no appeal process if your shit does get taken by the algorithm.
Yeah. So where are we going then? Like some sort of weird like blue checkmark Twitter thing where you have verified like
that's kind of my understanding is
kind of like how YouTube does, where they have like partner programs or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the state that it's in right now.
Let me ask you this: what brought about this change? Was there any one major thing?
No, it's just the New York Times article went viral. No.
I mean, what made Visa and all these companies pull out? Reimagined their contract with Pornhub, and what made Pornhub actually take notice? Because let's be real, how long has Pornhub been around?
Years,
a while, right? Yeah, a decade maybe or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they've been around for a while, and I'm this hub of some sort. So it's like a collective, like a traveling area of said. They would have had to have known that this is a potentiality the entire time they're operating, and the more they're growing, and the more videos they're seeing uploaded from seemingly a bunch of randos. You know what I mean? Like you had to think that like one of their lawyers, their team army of freaking lawyers would be like, hey, watch out. This is a massive liability. You have all these numbers of people who are totally unverified uploading all of this content that is also not verified on our platform.
I suppose. I mean, I don't really know the inner workings of credit card companies, but it's kind of like anything else. You know, if it gains traction and people raise hell about it. And
now, was this policy enacted in the wake of this New York Times article?
Most definitely.
I'm sorry.
Recently.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was the other way around. I thought that this thing happened and then the New York Times. Okay, my apologies. Yeah. Okay, that's actually super relevant. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Going back,
so
to
it's a backlash. So actually, that kind of proves my point, but that supports my point. What I was saying before is that Pornhub probably knew for a long time that this is a potentiality, and that if anybody were to say anything about it, they would have to then maybe
Well, the way it works now is, like, to my understanding is, there's just kind of a free upload, and then your stuff can get flagged by if a user decides to flag it.
Okay.
And be like, hey, this stuff shouldn't be on here for XYZ reason.
Presumably, if they get like enough flags, they take notice or something. Or?
Right. It's kind of like this whole topic gets into the question of moderation and how do you moderate something like that, especially if it has such an open policy. Moderation. Okay. Yeah. So then a human presumably would take a look at it and be like, hey, yeah, this needs to be going away. But the problem
so you have like a human filter who's like Butters from that South Park episode where he's like removing all the negative like comments from people and he's just absorbing people's negative shit all day.
There's offices of people in places like India that work for Facebook that have to sit there and just go through
content
all this
like violence and sexual shit. Oh my God, dude.
Yep.
You think you have a fucking shit job, dude? Jesus.
Yeah, because computers aren't good enough at doing it.
Yeah.
And it's this balance of letting people upload whatever they want and being free and,
yeah,
big.
I mean, that's fine if people want to do that. But I kind of on this one, I feel like because there's so much content, it's like just a mammoth operation to be able to weed through it all and be like, this is.
That's
good,
why they just went a mass shutdown and just
but my
carpet bomb the whole website.
My solution to that maybe would though be to just let the market like decide whether or not. And a bunch of things get like downvoted, then
that's the way it's been.
Get out of here, dude.
That's the system that created this whole thing. And the problem is that people vote that stuff. The people who will downvote that stuff would be people who weren't looking for it. And when the marketplace is so large, the only people who are really looking for that stuff are really looking for that stuff, and they want to find it. Right, so they're not going to report it.
So only if that like niche thing spills over into like more mainstream, then it gets like attention, I guess.
Yeah.
But dude. And we're going to be coming up with all this stuff right now because like Section 230 and like Facebook and like censorship and all that stuff is like really kind of big and in the news and stuff right now and everything. And we're going to have to kind of figure out how we're going to proceed, like whatever. And I'm sure Pornhub
there's going to be some Supreme Court cases coming up.
Yeah,
soon.
No kidding, dude. Yeah. That's interesting. So what would you do?
If I were Pornhub?
Yeah, basically. Or YouTube or any of these other companies that basically have the same kind of conundrum of like, how do we allow people as much freedom as possible to upload and express themselves and free speech and yada yada and all that good stuff while at the same time protecting, the innocent, basically.
Yeah.
I know it's a subjective like term, but I don't know how to proceed with that.
Exactly. That's what makes this whole thing so tricky.
Yeah. Well, somebody else fucking smarter than me is going to have to figure it out.
I mean, there's teams that believe that human moderation is definitely the way to go, but that's obviously expensive and time consuming.
And God
there's
knows
a human
what kind
psychological cost.
I was just going to say, yep.
Right.
And who knows what the cost of that is.
Well, here, Drew, how do you...
Producing serial killers and shit.
Well, there's...
At the worst, obviously. At the worst.
There's a lot of people out there going and committing crimes. So do you create a police force that goes out and finds these guys and wrangles them up? And what's the psychological cost of that? That's expensive.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And logistically expensive and annoying and like, yeah. That's why these kind of like culture questions are really difficult, dude, because there's no like easy answer. Nope. And
it's a lot deeper than
people feel really deep, feel like emotionally really deeply about the.
I mean, you kind of go into it a little bit, and like you think it's not that deep, but then you go in a little bit deeper, and you're like, wow,
how deep does this go? Fits. Like, I'm up to my neck, and it feels like this is keep going.
Yeah. Before you know it, you're just gagging on it.
Do you enjoy the show and want to help it grow? Don't hesitate. Like, share, and donate.
Going to hell.
I like that. Yeah, that's all right. I'll see you there, buddy. Save you a place in line.
They have really good tacos.
Say what you want about hell, dude. It has the best tacos. I don't give a shit.
They don't have a shortage of chairs down there.
Right, totally. They have an abundance of chairs. They're the ones stealing all the chairs from heaven. How funny would that be? Like, all right, welcome to hell. Tacos are over there.
Here's
your houses are over there. Whatever. Grab yourself a chair. Oh, We need people to sign up for chair thievery duty. Right, and it's like, what do you guys do? Like, oh, every once in a while we go up to heaven for like 15 minutes and fucking, wreck up the place, steal some chairs. It's fun,
Just have a laugh.
Just have a fucking.
We don't get to have a lot of fun around here.
Yeah, right, totally, right. Actually, to be honest, it's not even fun to do that anymore. We're just really going through the motions. At this point, it's just tradition. You know what I mean? No, we have a whole stack of chairs. We don't even fucking use them. Dude. Like,
we're throwing them on the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Why? It's pissing off God. That's the only thing that we think is funny around here. Plus, it makes the big guy smile.
Nobody knows why. It's just the way it's done, okay?
Yeah, right. For a person who just got to hell, you're asking a lot of questions.